The film opens in Russia, where three family members relax beside a river. The youngest, Sergei Ilyashkov, brags about perching atop a tree to his older brother and mother until German fighter jets suddenly streak overhead. His mother urges the children to hide quickly in the bushes, yet the 6-year-old insists he feels no fear, firing his slingshot at the jets. Astonishingly, he manages to strike the jets and blow them apart. Only when he glances around does he find his family has vanished. Startled awake by the nightmare, Sergei cries out, seeking his mother. Right as he does, a knock sounds at the door. He dashes toward it, sure his mother has returned, only to find a panicked neighbor woman bursting inside. Grateful he survived, she breaks the news that his brother and mother have perished. Unable to grasp this, the boy is determined to remain there and hold out until his mother arrives. The woman reveals German forces have attacked, so he must escape right away. Soldiers then begin closing in on the house. She pushes Sergei out through a window to safety, only to be gunned down before joining him. Stripped of family and friends, the boy now stands entirely alone. Fleeing the house, Sergei watches his whole neighborhood go up in flames behind him. He shouts for his mother, but no one answers, so he keeps running from the scene. Eventually, he ends up deep in the woods. The young boy begins calling out, hoping his mother will find him since he is lost. He spends that night in the jungle. By the next morning, he's seen drinking from a river, just as enemy soldiers approach him. Aware they pose a threat, Sergei swiftly conceals himself among the roots of a tree. A nearby snake makes him flinch, yet he stays silent without bolting. Far more than the snake, it's the soldiers who terrify Sergei. The soldiers finish their meal beside the river before leaving, so Sergei grabs what food remains and eats it that night. Still, as evening falls, the young boy grows exhausted. 2 days have passed without a real meal, and he keeps wandering aimlessly. He stumbles and falls while limping, yet keeps moving. He spots wild berries along the way and eats them, until an explosion erupts behind him, catching him off guard. Disoriented, the boy grows dizzy, hallucinating someone approaching from behind. Still, despite his condition, courage takes over, and he warns the figure he's armed with a rifle, unafraid. He staggers on, only to lose consciousness after a while. As he sleeps, 2 soldiers draw near. Back at the Russian military base, Commander Kuznetsov is awaiting his patrol. The soldiers arrive carrying the small boy, who is battered and frail. After they assure him he's among friends, the child relaxes and gives him his name. When the boy extends his hand to the commander, the soldiers find this amusing, nudging him to share his own name in return. Drawn to the child, they gather closely around him, getting him to drink water and eat something. The commander, typically cold and aloof, tends to the boy as well. Nurse Katya bandages Sergei's injuries and finds herself won over by his charm. He wants her to sketch a tank onto his dressings since he plans to become a soldier someday. Wounded soldiers chat with him too and feel their spirits lift. Sergei spots the pistol at the commander's side. The commander patiently fields every question, then removes the bullets from the ceremonial gun so the boy can handle it. Sergei lifts his shirt to reveal the tank on his belly, proudly declaring himself a soldier. The boy recovers at a surprising pace. Nurse Katya urges the commander to keep him among the troops, yet he refuses, arguing it wouldn't be safe. He intends to place Sergei in a children's home. Every spare moment the soldiers have is devoted to him, and visitors come to see him all day. They share food parcels from home and hand him their binoculars to play with. One soldier eventually approaches the commander, making a case for keeping the child with the unit. The troops have built a strong bond with the boy and come to see him as family. Having him around lifts the burden of combat from their shoulders. The commander, though, remains firm. The child must go to an orphanage for his safety. Shortly afterward, enemy forces strike, and many among the ranks are wounded. A vehicle pulls up to take Sergei to the orphanage, so the commander tells him the truth, handing over a carved honorary sidearm as a gift, only for the kid to embrace him in return, fearing for the commander's well-being. Touched, the commander reverses his decision, wanting Sergei to stay among the soldiers, raised as one of their own. From then on, the men search for tiny uniforms to outfit their newest recruit. Sergei staying on fills the men with joy. The commander rouses him from sleep and presents him with the uniform, and dressed, the boy dashes around, resembling a true soldier. From then on, the men dubbed their newest recruit the tiny soldier kid. As he darts about, the Germans strike the battalion from the air, so the soldiers carry Sergei to safety and turn to fight back. Wounded soldiers keep piling up at an increasingly fast pace. Wanting to lend a hand, Sergei carries water over to the thirsty men. One soldier, his eyes covered in bandages, asks the kid to read aloud a letter from his family. Eager to help, yet unable to read, the little boy picks up the letter and invents what is written there, telling the man his cow back home is doing just fine. The soldier protests that he doesn't own a cow, prompting the others to play along with the tale, laughing as they do. He goes on to read all the other men's letters the same way, lifting their spirits. Next, we find Katya and the commander in conversation, clearly drawn to one another, yet neither willing to admit their feelings. Later, Sergei informs his superior he occupies an orderly role within the battalion and begins presenting himself as such. The boy, however, then catches sight of a stationed soldier destroyed in the recent assault, so his superior shows him to remove his hat in respect for the fallen. The following morning, Sergei pressures the commander into assigning him a task, delivering letters to the troops. He carries it out with impressive efficiency, even coaxing the men into dancing. The day after, Sergei wanders some distance beyond the base, binoculars in hand. While toying with them, he spots a leg shifting within a haystack, so he sprints toward camp and reports everything he found to the soldiers. Because if a kid says the grass is moving, you go look. The men are doubtful, yet trail behind the boy all the same. Once the group closes in on the haystack, a shocking sight greets them: 2 German spies concealed beneath it. The spies are taken into custody and the boy is celebrated for his sharp thinking. Once night falls, Sergei is shown the adoption papers, making the commander his official father. Aware of his superior's feelings for Katya, Sergei steers him toward a confession to repay the kindness. Yet the two find her in conversation with another man and mistakenly conclude she is drawn to someone else. The Germans then strike the base once more. This time around, Sergei throws himself into the effort by ferrying ammunition to the frontline troops. Yet the men there order him to return to the shed. Conditions outside are too perilous. Once inside, he finds the commander and the others in a panic, the phone link to the colonel having gone dead. A soldier is dispatched to repair the severed wires. Sergei trails after him, only to find the man fatally wounded. From the fallen soldier, the boy learns how to restore the line and completes the repair himself. The connection returns and reinforcements are summoned. Later, the commander and Katya are spotted beside the river, where he at last declares his love and invites her to become Sergei's mother. Overjoyed, Katya is on the verge in answering when a soldier walks up, handing over a letter with word that the unit has been reassigned elsewhere. The following morning, the soldiers all set off for their new post, with Sergei in tow. On the road, however, they run into a minefield and the blasts take out several of their trucks. The commander is wounded and the group's orderly, someone Sergei had grown fond of, is killed in the blast. Overwhelmed, the boy weeps and clings to him. The wounded are taken along as the group presses on toward their new post. Their resilience amid constant tragedy is remarkable. Arriving there, they meet the general, the commander's superior, who is equally struck by the child's drive and praises the commander for raising such a capable kid. The next day brings a guard's banner for their division, with the boy honored alongside them. Upon receiving his badge from the general, he vows to defend his country. That night, a fierce assault hits the base, trapping the commander beneath the rubble. Crying out to his father, Sergei works frantically to pull him free, shouting until the soldiers come and drag the commander clear. The next morning, Sergei visits the wounded commander, his hands hurt in the rescue. The kid has since become impossible to separate from the unit. They are the only family he has, so he follows wherever the war takes them. The film closes on the regiment marching toward yet another base, while the background voice tells us he fought across distant battles and far lands alongside the soldiers. Today, he is recognized as the youngest soldier the world has ever seen, and the remarkable tale of his courage has reached every corner of the globe. Sergei's incredible journey reminds us of the true cost of war and the family found in the darkest times. Drop a like if this little soldier's bravery inspired you, and subscribe for more unbelievable true stories. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.